Hello and welcome to the Ontario OCAA College Curling Provincial Championships here in Peterborough, Ontario in the Peterborough Curling Club. Tonight's matchup featuring the women's curling teams, Sault Ste. Marie and Fanshawe College playing off together. So Fanshawe College are going to be shooting the blue stones, and we'll have hammer in end number 1. Underway here with Sault Ste. Marie's lead. That's Hillary Ireton throwing the first stone of the match. Some great games have been played so far today. This is a 4-day spiel where each college is represented in Ontario with their best curling team. They bring forth some great matches. If you want to watch for the rest of the weekend, gold medal and bronze medal matches will take place on Sunday. Fanshawe College's Veronica Van Broekhoven shooting the first stone. Trying to get it to curl. Going to catch a piece, split up the house. Back to an open house in end 1. House is clear early on. A lot of these teams like to play it clean for the first couple ends. Progress. This is an 8-end game with a break halfway through after the 4th end where the coaches can come down onto the ice and give some advice to their fellow curlers. So Ireton throws her second stone. And Van Broekhoven will throw hers for Fanshawe College. A nice one to start out the match. Get that close guard. Some veterans on this Fanshawe team have the experience, and some newer players as well. Their lead is a first year, so Veronica being a first-year curler for the Fanshawe Falcons, with their back end being quite experienced, being 4th end for the vice and the skip. Second for Sault College. Stones are going to be thrown from Amelia DiVincenzo. Looking to draw around, get into the house. With a nice draw. Little heavy though, going to be to the back. And that's Fanshawe's skip, who is Amelia Dolson, sweeps out the stone out the back. Earlier in the afternoon with the mixed doubles, they had a little trouble finding just that right draw weight later on. I've been told it's about 14.2 seconds to get down the sheet from hog to hog for the draw weight. That was one of Fleming College's coaches who told me the stats. They are Fleming College's hosting the OCAA championships here in Peterborough. DiVincenzo throws her second stone after the first one's cleared out by Fanshawe. Fanshawe so far playing a hitting first end, keeping it nice and clean. You'll see a number of these curlers, if you're looking closely at their shoes, they purchase, say, a regular pair of runners. They actually get them set up as curling shoes so they can send them into a couple different companies. I know Goldline does them where they send them in. They'll get a slider put on the bottom and a gripper as well. So a number of athletes nowadays are opting in for that option. As the second for Fanshawe College, that's Lauren Massey. She is a London curler, so right there at home at Fanshawe College. Clears the house. I'm expecting a great little matchup here between these two teams. Both have had very successful curling programs in the past and continue to excel throughout their years. Not to mention Sault College curls out of the same club as Brad Jacobs. So they get some serious curlers curling up in Sault Ste. Marie. Lone guard out front early on. As the vice, Erin White for Fanshawe College, steps up to shoot her first stone of the match. Looking for a draw. If you were watching the mixed doubles from early on, you're going to see definitely some different gameplay and different strategy from the mixed doubles into the women's and men's competition. See a little bit more curl as that stone approaches that center line. It'll start to curl across. Back of the house is where it finishes, just in that back forefoot. As Jefferson steps up for her last stone. End number one, the vice for Sault College. She is from Newcastle, Ontario. Throws about hack weight. Maybe a little bit heavier. Spins out, rolls out, so it doesn't stick around. Open house still. Could be looking at a blank for the first end, which a number of teams do tend to float towards. Blanking that first end or second. Going to accelerate the gameplay. They are on the clock here at the Provincial Curling Championships, so they have a set amount of time to shoot. Once that rock is released, time comes to a halt for their team. So they have 32 minutes, each team, to shoot all their rocks. I haven't seen anyone come up short on the time. I know about 5 years ago when I was curling in an extra end, they only give you 5 minutes, and I threw my final stone with 3 seconds left on the clock. So what a nice draw by White. Buried, but it's still that just biting that 8 foot. Just missed shot. Nice chance here for Fanshawe's skip, Amelia Dolson, shooting her first stone. For the women, this is their second game of the Spiel. Looks like she's just going for another draw, trying to get that 4-foot. Sitting 1 right now. Looks to come up just a little bit short. But it is biting the 12-foot, so they are sitting 2. Lemieux, the skip for Sault Cougars, throwing her first stone. A little heavy on that first one. It's going to go through with Fanshawe's vice. That's Aaron White sweeping it on through that house. So they are sitting 2. Chance to sit 3 here. For Sault Cougars, they're just looking to get that draw weight down. So their skip just trying to find that rhythm. Find that ice speed. So Michelle McLeod is the skip for the Sault Cougars. She's just actually in a teammate's jacket right now. Cold out there on the ice. I can't blame her for staying warm. Looks a little light for Dolson, but it's coming in nicely. Needs to curl a little bit. Going to hang out in the open. But sitting top 12. Oh. Beautiful. So they pick up a beautiful first end. Handful of points. Going to go up on that scoreboard for Fanshawe College. End number 1 in the women's Spiel today. They just picked up 4. That's a great start. This is when Sue needs to come together. Have a quick, 30-second little talk, what they need to change going into end number 2, refocus that mind. It's still early on, 3 points to start, so game's not over till it's over. Lots of room for comebacks. I've seen, and I'm sure you have back at home, some crazy swings in the point for each game, so anything can happen here. Van Berkhoven going to be drawing into that top 4, biting button. Beautiful draw weight. So Sue now going to finish up. And they're going to be having hammer in the second end. Their lead, Hillary Ayrton, taking her shot. Looks like she's going for a corner guard. Yeah, you can't play that chase game when you need those points. You just need to get into your game. Find those guards. They look like they're calling it for a little bit closer to the house, so potentially top 12. Little miscommunication between the skip and the sweepers. But that's a lovely corner guard there. Set up. Fanshawe now just looking for that center guard. Get something in front, cover what they have in the house. That's going to be hard to remove later on. Looks like it's a little bit heavy. It's going to come in, chance of it sitting just into that 12-foot, but no, sits just outside. So beautiful weight. And two nice shots by Veronica Van Berkhoven from Port Stanley, Ontario. First-year student. Looks like they're calling for a draw for shot number 2, same side. Try to find that 8-foot. That rock is going to start really moving when it crosses that center line. Looks a little bit light, coming up a short, might hang out top 12-foot. So it can make it there. Just a little bit short. But that does hold some opportunity for a nice tap back, run back later on in the end. Even with how close it is, coming off with a little split off that top stone. Lauren Massey, in her second year at Fanshawe College. Might be going to plan B here, has some weight. Looking at the top back, split and roll into the outer 12-foot, now sitting 3. Chance at a double here. Jefferson looks to be calling control. Sweepers on it right away. Tight line. Holding it to the outside here. They get off. Waiting for a little bit more curl. They really pushed it out there as soon as their brooms came on that ice. Nice double. Rolling back 8-foot. Keeping it a little bit more open. So Dolson looking to just get rid of that yellow stone. No need to have it in the rings. She actually calls a draw here. Look to do a takeout, but she's drawing to that center guard spot. They're still shot. Got it over the hog. They're going to be sitting right in center. Over curls just a hair, but fairly good guard. With a little bit of hack weight, maybe even a little bit lighter, you can come right on top of that blue stone that's biting button. So final shot for McLeod. McLeod is a Sault Ste. Marie native representing the local college. Little communication error. Jefferson tried to call him off, just gets by that top guard, a little bit light, but it's going to tap it back into that back 4-foot. Still shot stone for Fanshawe College, throwing blue. but Sue is sitting 2. Second and third shot at the moment. By the looks of it, we got ourselves a beautiful game ahead of us. Erin White, a fourth-year student from Chatham, Ontario. She's curled on the mixed teams in the past for our Fanshawe College and on the women's team as well. A veteran at the provincial curling championships, and she's competed at a couple national competitions. So experience can go a long way. Little tap in. They're still shot stone, but threw it just a hair heavy. Great opportunity for Jefferson. Maybe try like a little tap. They're looking to come across the face at that blue top stone and maybe tap in their own. Catch it with a little bit of weight. I would want to throw something a little bit more delicate here. Although with that said, you come across the top, you're going to catch about half that yellow stone, pushing it back onto the blue that's sitting back button. You might be able to be sitting 3 after this. With the ice called, I'm going to say they're going to be throwing somewhere board and up, potentially that control weight. So, Melanie Jefferson, the skip for Sioux College, will be throwing her first stone. They have hammer in end number 2. A little bit outside. Close, though. Going to take nice little play there. Gets the single. Blue one's going to hang around back 8 foot. It looks like Fanshawe might be sitting second shot at the moment with that back blue. And then Sue is sitting 1, 3, and 4 with that blue stone being wide open at the back. So Erin White might be looking to throw like a hack weight type hit here. You're gonna have to watch because this might run back depending on where they hit this yellow. It'll be coming back and jamming on that back blue in the back 8. Not to mention, you don't want your shooter spinning out of that gap between those 2 yellow stones. Just wide now, needs it to curl. Might catch a hair and have a very thin double here. No, just nicks it in. Missed stone for Erin White's last shot. So Jefferson, not quite sure what they're calling here. They're looking to switch it up. They're thinking about sitting top 12. Might be a little bit better right now, although they're only sitting 1 at the moment. And that back blue is guarded by Sue's yellow corner guard. So not a lot of access to that back blue, second shot at the moment. Coming in, sitting top 12, having a little tap back option open is a great little play, although that does open a door for a double for Fanshawe to give them shot stone. Going to be coming in here a little bit heavy. Going to find that 8 foot. Might even split off of their shooter to sit 4. This opens up a triple opportunity. If they hit this right with a little bit of weight, although I believe their shooter will stay open, so it's not going to become buried. And then McLeod might be able to come down and hit an open stone for 1. They're giving a fair bit of ice here. I imagine they're going to be throwing something a little bit lighter. Probably hack weight with that ice. If they're throwing a little heavier than that, I don't see it making that much curl. The other option is they're just throwing, say, a back line sort of weight, and they're just looking to split these two. And roll in to be shot stone, but keep all the stones in play. So last rock, second rock here for Amelia Dolson, skipping the Fanshawe Falcons. Draw weight. Yeah, they're looking just to catch the inside, come across the nose. Starting to slow down, though. Sweepers need to pull it. Comes up just a little bit short. So Michelle McLeod, Sault Ste. Marie native, throwing her first stone, second end, sitting 2, 4 in the house. Great chance to close this gap up right now. It's gonna crowd it out front. Room to curl. They're waiting for a lot of rotation on that stone. Looking about, that's 3 rotations right there, going on 4. Gonna freeze it to their yellow at the back. Little tap back. You can throw some serious weight in here for Amelia Dolson. Catching your stone on. Looks like you have a chance to hit nose. That center guard isn't really playing a role for that top blue. I'd be looking at just hitting it slightly off nose if you can. Just on the outside. And your shooter will be running across the top. And it's going to catch one of those yellows, either the 12-foot yellow or the one just above T-line in that 8-foot area. Last stone for Amelia Dolson of Fanshawe College in the second end. They do not have hammer, so McLeod will be following up this shot, trying to get 2. We're going to be throwing about a control weight, little outside. Needs to curl. They don't want to touch it yet. Starting to move, a little lighter than control. Going to catch a hair of it. Doesn't move it enough. So Sault Ste. Marie right now sitting 2 with the final shot of end 2. think best bet here would be just trying to get by that top center guard, throwing a draw, and you might catch half of that blue stone, but with draw weight, you're going to try to spin into the center. It looks like they're calling a timeout in end 2. Each team has 2 timeouts that they can use throughout the game. Doesn't matter which end, so if they use both early on, they won't be able to use up that time later. But this is a great opportunity for them to get back into this game with a multiple scoring end ahead of them. They are sitting 2 right now. There's maybe 2 inches separating that blue stone in the forefoot and that other yellow. So not a lot of space between the 2. You come in there with a little bit of draw weight, a little bit heavier, so throw maybe back 4, back 8, and you'd be looking to catch about half of that blue stone. That force would send that blue stone back into the yellow. Yellow's going to catch their own yellow and roll back into the forefoot. You'd want it to stick around, maybe bite that button. Hoping that blue pushes out just a little bit, and your shooter rolls into top 4 to get 3. Other than that, they have a angle raise they can throw. There is a slight hole there as well. It looks like maybe a rock and a quarter could fit through that hole. So a nice draw to the button wouldn't be too bad, and that would definitely be a less risk shot. They already have 2, so you don't want to really move things around too much. So Michelle McLeod throwing her final stone, second end, needs it to curl. She has a fair bit of rotation on her stones. Starting to move now. Sweeper's getting close. Splits the 2. They were not on it, so a little communication error there. I think they could have got by. They just waited a little bit too long there. They're going to still finish with 2 points. 3-2 game after 2 ends here at the Peterborough Curling Club OCAA Curling Provincial Championships for the 2019-2020 season. Fanshawe College taking on Sault Ste. Marie in their second game in the women's spiel. This is a 4-day spiel. Lead Hillary Ireton from Perth, Ontario, second-year student at Sault College. Throwing her first stone of the third end. Some great gameplay. This is going to be a really close game early on. So far, so good, but anything can happen. Corner guard. They're almost leaving it. Yeah, they wanted that hog from the get-go. They left it hog stone, so cleared away. Nothing in play with Veronica Van Berkhoven. She's going to be throwing a corner guard. Looks like Fanshawe's calling a little bit heavy, so into the house for sure. Each team has a different communication method, or it could be some of them are very similar, but communication is such a key part of curling. It's really up to those sweepers to communicate the weight of that stone when it's released, so then the skip knows whether or not to call them on. Skip takes care of that line judgment call. So they're watching the line. It's up to those sweepers, though, to judge the weight, to make the proper call, and then relay that information. Sweepers on, then off. Clean, so it's close. Colonel a fair bit coming across that center line here, starting to move, and it looks like it's a little heavy, so going to land in the house. Going behind the tee line. Going to finish in the back 12-foot. Last stone for Fanshawe's lead, member Coben. Sweepers are on it. A little bit light, trying to get it over for that corner guard. Second hog stone in the third end. Vincenzo will shoot her stone, looking for a center guard. Both teams have been unable to get a guard in place, but Jefferson going to be calling for it to land in the house here, trying to get it to the top 12. Can't quite do so. A little short, but that's all right. That's a nice little center guard. And now Fanshawe looking to get rid of it. Keep that center open. That's what you'd like when you have hammer. You don't want many rocks in the center. You want access to that button. So calling for a hit here and roll into the house. Just goes by. So a few misses early on in tonight's matchup. You really got to capitalize on the opportunity when the other team makes a mistake. Your goal is to take as much advantage as possible, as it opens the door of opportunity. So DiVincenzo will shoot her second stone. Looking for a little raise. Tap back. A little bit open, so hit it just off nose.
Lauren Massey
shooting her stone. Looking to get by that top guard. Sweepers are on it. Trying to get the hit and roll just by. Gonna make that connection and roll out into that back 8. So nice hit by Massey to keep that center clear. Melanie Jefferson. She's been calling the shots for Sue, but you'll notice she is shooting the vice stone, so she's shooting third. And McLeod is shooting rocks number 7 and 8. Good open hit. Rolls into the 4-foot. Aaron White going to come down with just control. I'd say board to control. Little outside, sweeper's not on it, has to come in, kind of hanging out there. Gonna catch, nose. Just off nose, so rolls in a little bit. Stays 4 foot, still wide open. Sue now calling that hit. Jefferson with that control weight. Close, a little bit of clean.
I did, but I didn't have any more to say. I'm like, well.
Gonna get it to curl across. Curls a little bit too far, comes across to the back 8 foot. So open double. Far side of the ice, needs to hit just off nose on the outside. Or you hit it a little bit thinner on the inside and roll to that center. You're going to see this drift out a little bit here. Sweepers are on it. Really, really hold it. It's going to catch it on the outside. Shoots it wide, so one sticks around at the back 12 foot.
So Michelle McLeod
coming down to throw her 7th stone of end number 3. Going to be a draw to the center. Waiting for it to curl in, hanging to the outside round, now starting to move. She gets a lot of late movement on her stones. I think that's just due to that amount of handle she puts on the rock. So she's going to be sitting good weight, but wide open. So Amelia Dolson going to come down, look to get a double here, hit and roll behind the top guard to sit 1. This is her first stone, 3rd end. Sweepers are on it right away. It looks a little bit tight. Are they going to run onto that first guard? Just by. But rolls on out, so that back 12-foot stone sticks around for another throw. That's going to force a single point by Fanshawe. Michelle McLeod trying to draw to the pin. A lot of shots this end have been going on the left side of the sheet. So when you switch it up, you got to make sure you make that adjustment if you haven't thrown on the right side for a little while. Looking for that late finish, starting to move. Goes to the back, but seems to be about 3/4 of the ways buried. sitting back forefoot, just biting the edge of the button. So Amelia Dolson coming down for her final stone, looking to follow that same path. Draw to the button will give her the point here. She does have a little bit of backing, but you don't want to throw it too heavy where it's not going to curl. And you don't want to give up two here or rub on that top guard. Starting to clean. Looks a little bit light. Hair on the inside. Gotta go. They're able to hold it out, but it is light, so they're going to be sweeping it all the way in. What a beautiful draw. Exceptional weight. Hits that tee line. Gives her team a point, 4-2 lead after 3 ends. Fanshawe College leads Sault Ste. Marie Cougars. Some very nice shots so far by each of the skips. Looking to get one in the house right off the bat. Amber Coven. It's a little bit heavy. Going to be coming into that forefoot for sure. Melanie Jefferson calling for a corner guard, ignoring the rock in the center. Yeah, when you're throwing it from that center line out, you're going to see a lot of curl. That rock is really going to move a lot more than on the way in. Sticks outside. It's going to be covering up a section of that 12-foot if you're on T-line. Looking to sit top 12. If not in that 4 position, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 being just outside of the rings for a guard. Beautiful shot by Veronica Van Berkhoven. As Hillary Ireton throws her last rock of end number 4 before the 4th end break. Looking to get it to slowing down, finding that 8-foot. Biting 8. Calling for a hit and roll. With that ice, I'm assuming it's control or more. By Lauren Massey. Looks outside. Danger here to run it back onto their own shot stone. Got to be wary of this. It does come back, splits to the open. Can they get it out? Nope. Going to stick around in the 12-foot behind the tee line. So they lose their shooter and the shot stone. And Jefferson calling for another stone just coming up into that 12-foot, having a draw to split the house here. They have a good shot now of capitalizing and getting 2 to tie this game up. But it is light. Sweeper starting to dig in a little bit. It's going to be hanging out top. Missed opportunity for Sault Ste. Marie. So Hillary DeVincenzo unable to make that draw. So now Fanshawe is going to try to shut it down right away. This is your best bet. You know they have a chance at splitting that house. You cut that point out right away. So they're throwing outside in. It's going to float out a little bit here. They can push it. Looking to hit and roll to the center. Rolling across. Jefferson sweeping, going to stick around in the back 12. Stays in the center. Open hit, but no need to worry for the Cougars. So Sue looking to draw in behind their corner guard and get one above the tee line. Weight looks good. Sweepers bringing it in, bringing it to that 8-foot, full 8. But it is open. So you have a good chance at a hit and roll across here for Fanshawe. So Erin White going to try the hit and roll for her first stone. Waits there. Need it to curl. Waiting for it to come across that center line. Sticking around. They're trying to get it to move. It's going to be on their top guard. Going to push it out of that 12 so they lose shooter. Oh no, shooter's going to stick around. Had a nice little roll back there right at the end to be biting that 12-foot. As their center guard is knocked away, so that rock hung on and didn't come across. Sue trying to find a way to get 2 here. So Melanie Jefferson heading down to the far side to shoot her first stone. She is calling the shots, but as I said earlier, she throws the vice stones, so number 5 and 6. Takes a little time here. They're going to be bringing it across center to try and get behind their guards. Potentially split on their own top yellow. So now you got to look for that plan B. Yeah, trying to get it to curl. Gonna split it across, rolling. Still fairly close. By the looks of it, you do have a a double there, I would say. It's a little flat. Calling for the shot coming from the inside. Might be better coming across the top. Board weight opens up that ice just a little bit more. Yep, sweepers are on it. Starting to move. They don't want all of it coming across that center line. Has to stick. Holding it for now. Aaron White, hit, roll, nicely done. Gets one. Other sticks around biting the 8, so they are shot stone right now for Fanshawe. Wasn't able to get it completely out. Little down weight. So now Jefferson will be looking for a just off nose hit to roll behind their corner guard and sit 2. This might catch the back blue as well for a double. Waiting, starting to move. Once it comes off that center line, it's going to go. They're holding it. Jams on the back one, so they are now only shot 1, sitting 1, and 3, where Fanshawe in the blue stone sitting number 2 and 4. With that biter just on the edge of the 12-foot. 4-2 for Fanshawe College in the Blue Stones, leading after 3 ends. So Sault Ste. Marie looking to close the gap, tie it up, moving into the 4th end break. Amelia Dolson going down for her first stone. Looking for a hit here. By the looks of it, you can throw board weight, and it's not gonna move as much as you'd think. So they want to come across the nose of this Yellowstone. They don't want it to jam on their back blue. I'd like to keep that back blue around, but you got to get by that top guard. So she's over the center line, needs to get it by. Oh, just wicks the top, and it's gonna split on through. So, Sue, sitting 1. Could be that they're trying to split the house here. Looking at just placing a stone, second shot in the top 12 or 8. The problem with that is you leave a double wide open. Freezing on the back one is not a bad idea. Your second stone, even if you're a little heavy there and you tap it back, you'll be sitting 3. So just throwing a little heavy draw. Or you freeze to your top yellow. Michelle McLeod, Sioux native, throwing her first N4. Room to curl, starting to move. Looks a little bit light. It's going to come up short. You don't want these landing flat, and you don't want it just back 4. You want to take it all the way back. Yeah, so now Fanshawe has room to come and just sit right on top. You have that freeze. So that's a little miscommunication error between the sweepers. You'd rather that a little bit heavier. and just tap that blue back, then come up short like that, and that just opens up an opportunity for the freeze for Fanshawe. Now, shot still has to be made, so Amelia Dolson, 4th year at Fanshawe College, veteran on the curling team, going to be throwing her final stone to round out 4 ends in tonight's matchup. Looking to freeze right on top of that yellow stone, trying to steal one. Needs to curl, cleaning it. Coming in nicely here. Starting to slow. They need that on the button. Looks good. They're going to sweep it. Beautiful shot by Dolson. Just taps it back. McLeod can throw that same shot here. There is a little bit of room. If you get to the inside of that blue stone, you can move it back on that angle and get 2. So you just have to move it back maybe about a foot here. Not even a foot. Yeah, you have to get it out of the button. Their top yellow is sitting a couple inches off the button, so you do have to push it back almost a foot here to get your 2. She throw is a little bit heavier weight, so that's some narrow ice there. They're probably throwing some board weight, looking to move it back even more, potentially take the lead and get 3. Michelle McLeod's final stone, 4th end. They were on it, needs to curl now. Starting to come to that center line. Trying to get it to curl, they're going to hit it just off nose. Sticks around for 1, so Fanshawe steals 1 in the 4th end to take the lead 5-2. Great opportunity there. Unable to capitalize on it. That is too bad for the Sioux team. But we still have 4 ends to be played as they go into their 4th end break at the OCAA Curling Provincial Championships here in Peterborough, Ontario. I'm Andy Hine. I'll be coming back in just a few moments. Give the teams a little refuel and vamp back up their minds to take on the second half of their second game in this spiel. We'll be back in just a few moments. We are back after the fourth end break here at the OCAA Curling Provincial Championships in Peterborough, Ontario. My name's Andy Hine. Happy to be joining you on this beautiful Thursday evening at the Peterborough Curling Club. Fanshawe Falcons taking on Sault Cougars in the women's spiel. 4 ends have been played, and right now Fanshawe leads by 3, 5-2 after stealing 1 in that fourth end break. Amber Coven of Fanshawe will take her first shot of the second half. So far it's been a very close game, a little missed opportunity in that fourth end for the Cougars. Just lost out on what could have been a 2 to 3 point scoring end. They will now look to climb back up into this game. Still close game, only a 3-point difference. As Amber Coven places one right in the top 4. Starting out with a beautiful draw. Sue has done a great job with Jefferson calling the shots. Just with ignoring that first one. You got to let it play out. Get your guards up. If you play a chase game in curling here, chances are Fanshawe is going to come back and just keep that house open. They're going to throw a lot of hits. You're not going to be able to get those points that you need to make a run for the win. So they're throwing that corner guard early on. That's Ireton. The lead for Sault College goes a little deep here, a little heavy. Swept right on through, so does not stick around. Amber Coven will throw her second. Fanshawe throwing the blue stones, and the Cougars from Sault Ste. Marie will be throwing the yellow. 8 ends to be played. This is round robin. So every team will play one another throughout the spiel. The top 4 teams will then advance to the playoffs and play a semifinal round. Winners will move on to the gold, and the losers will play for bronze. 4 days of curling to be had here over a lovely weekend. From experience, it does get quite exhausting. As a curler, you have a banquet, the opening ceremonies, a number of games to be played. I also do find, sometimes sleeping in that hotel room, you don't get the best quality of sleep, which plays a huge factor into these matchups. Anything can happen. I've had it where you start off strong, winning the first 4 games, and then next thing you knew, you lose the next 4 and you're out, not making playoffs. So looking for that consistency throughout the spiel. As Fanshawe's second, Lauren Massey steps up to the hack. Looking to replace that center stone. Looks a little bit heavy. Sweepers aren't touching it. Looking to take it to the back of the house. And it's going to hang around back 12 foot. As DeVincenzo will shoot her first stone, the second for Sue. Big shout out to Bel Air Direct and Gold Line, helping us put this spiel together. Fleming College is the host college as well. They've done a fantastic job with their organization. We have incredible ice makers as well, keeping this ice into a beautiful condition. Right now that ice temperature sitting at about 41 42 degrees Fahrenheit. As Amelia brings it to the back of the house. She is also a Sioux native, representing her local college. Lauren Massey looking to find the top 12-foot, top 8. Sweepers jumped on it early, but now they're taking a little bit of break. You're finding these stones gliding in a little bit further than they think early on. They're going to sweep it to the 4-foot. A big factor in team sports are that communication aspect. It's really up to the team as a whole to communicate on what's wanted, if a plan B is there, if it's heavy, if it's light, inside, out. If you've ever been on a curling rink, it can definitely get loud out there. Splits it. Shooter doesn't stick around. So DiVincenzo keeps it clean at the front of the house so far in N number 5. Erin White, Fanshawe Falcons, shooting her first stone. She is the vice and a 4-year veteran on the team. Experience is one of those factors that does come into place, especially when you get closer to those semis or into pressure plays.
So, Melanie Jefferson.
Throwing the yellow stones, 5 and 6 for Sue. So a center guard placed up there by Fanshawe Falcons. They're going to try to come around here, waiting for it to curl, has some room, looking for the 4-foot. He's going to sit open as it comes to a halt in that 4-foot T-line area. Instead of going for the hit, Fanshawe's going for the peel here. They want to keep that center lane open. They have a 3-point lead, so they don't want to see any guards in the way. So they're actually peeling their own. Looks like it might just be coming off nose. Pushes it in. I would almost like to see them go in for that yellow that was on 4-foot. It was wide open, but now with after that peel, they've kind of rolled off and guarded it just a little bit more, but that center lane is open, so they do have some nice room there. So right side of the sheet, wide open here. Jefferson throwing her final stone for N5 as the vice. Sweepers have been on it. A little bit light, gonna come up short, doesn't quite reach the house. Just playing as a guard right now, so Fanshawe probably gonna looking for the peel. They just want to open that back up. So getting a little word from the teammates as she comes down. Yeah, they're going to look to draw. Tossing out the draw option, it's not a bad option. I wouldn't mind. The chances are you're probably going to throw a draw on your final shot anyway, so you might as well find that pace off the bat. I like throwing, if I know I'm going to be drawing in on my last stone, I don't mind throwing that draw on the first stone to find that speed. Then you can make adjustments for your second shot. If you're coming off a peel, you throw some serious weight off the bat, and then you have to all of a sudden bring that weight down into a draw. That's when you can have that havoc. But they called the timeout, so Fanshawe using up one of their timeouts in end number 5. That is the first one for Fanshawe. Shot stone sitting 4-foot T-line, guarded up pretty well here. Sue is actually sitting 2, one in that back 12-foot. They have 2 stones in there. That back blue one, that's the Fanshawe stone, is third shot right now. Looking at the top view, I'm going to say you come around and get that draw. You have a nice path right now to the inside of that button. You throw a beautiful draw, maybe corner freeze. You can be shot, stone, and buried and really force them to make a play. So they've gone away from that peel and decided on the draw. I think that's a positive decision. Find the weight now. Looks good. They're starting to clean. Needs to curl. Has room. She did throw it a little bit outside. Depending on how you release the stone, some shooters actually slide out on the inside, and when they release, they almost push it slightly to the outer area. When that happens, you'll find it'll stay on the outside a little bit longer because of that momentum. It wants to go out. It'll take longer to curl in. So knowing that, if you're going to make that play, you got to adjust your ice for that call. So about 3/4 of it can be seen. As McLeod comes down looking for a straight-on hit. Although there is some backing for Fanshawe, and she had the right weight. That was a beautiful draw, beautiful weight. Now she knows she can do the same thing for her final shot and just make that ice adjustment. So McLeod throwing her first stone. Room to curl, going to catch about 1/4 of it. Trying to bring it across. Jams on the back blue, but sticks around to sit 2. Open hit. It looks like you can have a nice little double here for Fanshawe. If they come across the top of that stone, hit and roll to the inside. Wouldn't be a bad shot. I'd take that. The worst that can happen is reduce. So you reduce the points that can be scored here. You want to catch at least 3/4 of it. Maybe a little bit less to get that to roll across the face. Just going to be throwing from the outside. Cleaning the rock. So this is Amelia Dolson's final rock, 4th year, Fanshawe College. And she's going to throw that beautiful draw weight. So where they placed the broom, I was thinking, okay, they're going to try to hit. But she's just repeating that same draw. She has a little bit of room. They need it to curl a little bit more here. Maybe try to catch that roll to the inside, get buried. Starting to settle. It's going to be back of the house. Little bit heavy there. So back forefoot. Sue sitting 2 right now. So a draw here can tie the game at 5. Looking to follow her right down the same path. You have a little bit backing here. So for McLeod, you don't want to be light. You have some backing, so if you are heavy, as long as you get that right curl, you can sit 3. Michelle McLeod, waiting for her final stone to curl. It's not moving, hanging on the outside. They didn't adjust that ice. She has a little bit more handle on it. They're still going to get 2 here. A little missed opportunity, but they close the gap. So end number 5 finishes with 2 points for Sioux College. 5-4 game. Going into the 6th end, Fanshawe has hammer. It's those small little errors that can make a big difference into the game. You're now down 1 where you could have been all tied up. So it looks like they're going draw to the top 12 to start at the end. So they're going to respond with putting one right in the house. So this is only their 3rd time where they don't have hammer. Actually, 2nd time. Nice center guard to start off the end in that 3 spot. They know they have to play to steal. If you can steal in the 6th, you're set up to have a hammer in the 8th. So a little strategy could be to steal 1 or 2 here. If you steal 2, you take the lead. If stealing 1 ties it up, and then you want to force 1 and come home in the 8th end with hammer and take 2. Rock really moved there. He's going to finish on the very outside, just guarding that 12, edge of the 12. Probably won't affect much. Looked like it might have caught a little bit to be potentially off a shoe, something like that, as it just spun out kind of in the last few feet. So if you got like fluff on your pants, anything like that, falls in the way. We were always taught when sweeping, either have your broom on the ice in front of the rock, and if not, you're pulling it out and then you're lifting it up outside of the path of the stone. Because if you lift it up in the path, there's a chance that there's something on the bottom of your broom coming off and you could have a pick. So Sue throws through for a 2nd stone. That's Ireton. London native, Lauren Massey. Oh, that's actually Van Broekhoven, sorry, for her final stone of end number 6. Going to that same spot. Trying to get it to bite the 12-foot. Comes up a little short. Trying to draw to center here. You want to be above the tee line, sitting top 4, maybe biting that button. They're just cleaning, getting off of it. Needs to curl. Starting to move now, lots of handle. They're going to bring it into just behind that tee line. Back 4 foot. Finishes biting that center line, so half of it is covered up. So now Fanshawe just looking to make a peel here. Get rid of that center guard. They have the hammer. They want an open lane to the pin. They don't want to keep anything around. If they hit this right, they could have a nice little double here. But it doesn't look like so. And they're going to lose their shooter and their top stone. So loss 2 for Fanshawe, but they clear out that center guard. Sioux looking to replace it. Sweepers on it right away. Looks a little bit light. Got to get it over that hog line. Really starting to slow down right now. They get it. It's high guard. Good spot, though. Lots of room to get around it. Fanshawe just peeling it again. They're not messing around. They want an open lane to that center. If they can, I'm sure they would take the point here. I wouldn't want to blank 6th then, unless you're looking at blanking the 7th as well. But they're going to peel, open the house up. Nice shot by Massey. So Melanie Jefferson. Gonna try to replace that guard. Sweepers are on the clean right now. You might want this a little bit closer. Looks like it's going to be coming into a 3-4 position, guard position. Still need it to move a little bit. Beautiful finish and biting the top 12 foot. One of the interesting things here for Amelia Dolson, the skip of the Fanshawe team, she's timing the stones. Coming over that line, so she's getting that timing average, which will give her a better read of that weight. Just gets by the guard, picks out that back 4-foot stone. Lovely shot by Aaron White. Looked like a little plan B. So now Sioux's going to try the raise. Trying to raise up their own. When you're looking at a raise like this, what I try to think about is it's just a draw. You're drawing essentially to the nose of that stone. That's where you want it to hit, but I'll be looking at about an 8-foot, back 8-foot kind of draw weight. Nice line, catches the angle, a little bit heavy, so it's going to float on back to back 12. It's going to stick around, though. So now Fanshawe calling the peel. Aaron White going to throw that same shot again. Catch just off nose, rolls out to the outside. Now the pressure's on. So Fanshawe can actually split that top stone. It's within that distance, if they need. But that back yellow Sioux rock is still threatening. Looks like they're going to draw behind, try to get into the 8-foot, sit around T-line behind Fanshawe's guard. Yeah, lighter is better in this scenario. You want it in play. Starting to slow. These are the skip stones, so she throws right to the button. Fanshawe's going to try that hit and roll. Only has to roll about 1.5 feet. You still have to hit this rock pretty thick here. So here is Amelia Dolson. Throwing her first stone. End number 6. A little bit outside. Trying to get it to curl. You might be looking at just rolling this now to the outside, getting it off center. Shooter might not stick around. Looking for that roll back in. Nope. Not going to be biting the 12-foot. So Fanshawe does not sit any at the moment. Sioux with 1 at the back 12. Michelle McLeod going to try that same shot. They gave her a little less ice this time, so they brought it in by about 6 inches. She throws very similar weight. This could be a beautiful shot. Get buried. Looks heavy. Starting to slow. Sweeper's waiting for it. You're going to bring this back 12. Can't take it all the way out, so it sits back 12 foot. But now you have a little backing open draw for 1. For Amelia Dolson of Fanshawe College. So she will be looking to get 1 in the 6th end. This is an 8-end curling game, round robin. Second game for the women. Sweepers are on it right away. Looks a little bit light. They got to bring it. You got to make sure here. You have room to go heavy. They got to make sure it's in that 8 foot. It looks short. It is coming up really short. She just threw her first stone was that takeout. So she threw that heavyweight holding back. Sioux finishes with a steal of 2 in the 6th end to take the lead, 6-5. So now they're going to try to regain a little focus, take that 30-second break, talk to each other, refocus up for N7, down by 1. We could be seeing this game go into an extra, depending on how it plays out here. So Fanshawe will have hammer and end number 7 as Hillary Ireton, the lead for Sault College, throws her first stone. So they're going to throw a center guard. Fanshawe looking for a corner guard. Van Berkoven from Port Stanley, Ontario, throws her first stone. She is that first year Fanshawe athlete. They're on it right away. Looks light. You want this relatively close to the rings and staying a little closer to the center. So their first guard last round was 2 outside. They couldn't really use it. So they get it over the hog. It's not in a bad spot, guarding that 8-foot area. And now Sault goes on the offense, looking to place one in behind and throw to the 4-foot here. Ooh, little slip. Little, whether that's, not on 100% focus. She still got that rock released. It looks all right. I mean, way inside, but could be looking at a nice raise here. Hits it straight on nose as it floats on back to the back 8. So a plan B who ends up working out after you slip out of the hack, that's a great thing to look for when that slide isn't the best. You know what? That shot ended up working. So you take what you can. As Van Berkoven throws her second, looking to draw in behind, sit 8-foot. Beautiful draw, sitting that, just biting that 8-foot. So they sit around. Gorgeous shot by the second, Amelia DiVenzo. Hit and roll in behind. Well played. So Sault has really gone on the offense here. They're biting that 4-foot. And I would say 3/4 of that stone is guarded. So now Dolson is going to be looking to peel, get rid of that guard. You really want to open it up. They're down by 1. Sweepers are on it. It's crossing over that center line, but they're going to connect, split it open, roll out. Nice peel by their second. That's Lauren Massey, keeping it open. That's a perfect straight line for those two yellow stones in the house there. So just getting a half a guard will be beautiful for Sue. As DeVincenzo throws her second stone. Has room to curl. Goes in a little deep, doesn't get the curl that they want, but it's still outside the house. So now Dolson looking for a hit here. She looks to be calling normal weight. With that ice, I would say something close to it. So the error, you can be on the inside here. Peeling out that guard is not the worst case. You don't want to be on the outside and go right on through. Needs to curl. Is it going to catch a hair of it? Nope. Goes right on by both of them. So sometimes in these games you have to identify where you have that room for error. So in that case, you can throw it inside. Because I do, as a skip, I'd say I don't mind getting rid of that guard. I'd rather see that than going right through. So you got to keep that communication open and understand, okay, this is where we can miss, and plan for that. You want, at the end of the day, you want to plan to hit the shot that's called, but know where that room for error is. So Jefferson throwing her vice stones. Now they can place up a second guard, make a shot at stealing in the 7th as well. If they could get another one in the 7th, you open up a 2-point lead. This is a real game changer going into the final 8th end. So sits 12 foot. They have 3 in a row. 12 foot, 4 foot, and back 8. Something's got to give here. I'd be throwing some serious weight at that top guard. Look for a double and really open things up. If not, yes. So looking for a hit on that top 12 foot. You want to clear some stuff up here. You don't have a lot of room to work with right now. For Fanshawe, those blue stones, you got to open up that center lane and create some space for the skip stones. So Aaron White, vice for Fanshawe. Coming down, looks to be about control. Nothing too heavy. Flashes just by again. So maybe a little ice adjustment. Place it on the inside. You know that's where the error can happen. They can throw inside. That's not a problem. So give them less ice. Line it up that way. Jefferson throwing her final in the vice position. Looking for another guard. I'd be looking at a serious peel here. You got to throw peel weight, or as heavy as you can, and clear these up. So 2 guards now sitting outside. Sue sits 3. They stole 2 in the 6th end, up 6-5 in the 7th. This is heating up, a little bit more pressure being on Fanshawe. They're throwing one straight down the line. A little bit heavier than last time. Looking to sweep. We're looking to clear some rocks out here. Going to roll that shooter. Yes, opening up that center. That's a good shot to clear it. So still sitting 3. One's biting on the top 12 for Sue, but now they have one in the front 8 and the back 8. And now they have, a way in to that button for Fanshawe. So McLeod throwing her first stone, trying to eliminate opportunity and steal. It really is interesting what the strategy is, in this end. Do you go into steal or do you go to force? Right? Well, after the first half, you're looking at stealing 1, if not more, hanging on to the outside. Maybe, no, doesn't quite catch that guard, floats on by. And it's going to be sitting in the 4-foot, just biting 4-foot. I've been looking at drawing in here because you always now that yellow stone can be a nice hit and roll to that inside. Looking to hit and roll in, Amelia Dolson taking her first stone, 7th end. Sue sits 4 at the moment. Calling them off, has room to curl, needs it to come curl about a few more feet here. Starting to go. Nice shot, rolls in behind to sit shot stone in the 4-foot. Some high fives there, little relief to get a stone in the house. And now you put that pressure in as well. So, McLeod. Michelle's coming down to have a look at this. As a skip, I'm a huge fan of that. For me, it really helps to have a visual of these angles and what you need to throw and where you need to hit that stone. So they're looking at probably catching about as much as they can see. I'd say about half to get rid of that blue. So they're doing a little run back here, angle run back for Michelle McLeod for her final stone, 7th end. They lead by 1. Michelle looks a little inside. How she releases, though, she does have that slight push, so it will float out. Sweepers are on it. It's close. Coming by. Nice run back. Jams on the back, but it rolls out. Beautiful shot by Michelle McLeod. So Sue is going to sit 2 here. 1 biting that top 12 and 1 biting the 4-foot. Open draw. So Amelia Dolson came up short last end. She's coming off a hit. Very similar scenario. Needs 4-foot Team gives her that confidence of, hey, you got this. When you step into the hack, you want to know, yeah, this is my shot. I'm going to do this and make it happen. Find that draw weight. And if you need an extra 10 seconds, take that 10 seconds just to focus that mind. You don't want to rush a shot like this. You need to make it. Line's good. Sweeper's jumping on it. Looks a little bit light now. Really starting to push. They at least need, really starting to go. We could be looking at a steal of 2 once again. Lightweight, that rock moves. So she threw light again. Tough break for our Fanshawe College skip, Amelia Dolson, sorry. Just comes up short again. So Sue catches 2. Moves their lead up to 8-5. Final end. Final end for Sioux College and Fanshawe College in the women's. Sioux's going to throw right on through. They want to keep this house as clean as possible with a 3-point lead. They've stolen 2 in the 6th and 7th end. They were down by 1 just before that. So Fanshawe needs these shots all to fall in line. Great corner guard to start. So Sue gonna throw it through again. There, you just keep it clean. Anything in the house, anything in play right now is a danger to them. Because if they even have a rock at the back of the house, now that's backing for a heavy draw or something that Fanshawe could throw. So you just want to keep this clean, nothing in play. They're going to be throwing hits sooner than later. So Fanshawe's goal, split. I'd try to split it here. They're going to throw same side. You want rocks close enough where you can try a split. So hit, roll in, and it is coming up short. They got off of it, didn't let it come across. That is a hogged stone. Trying to regroup after those 2 ends. When things don't seem to be going your way, it's really hard to refocus that mindset. As in the game of curling, if something doesn't go right, it's quite obvious and you see it, and you know what it is. And you can't let that stick. You don't want that to stick, stay upset about it. That end over, completed, it's in the past. Your focus now is, even though it might be far-fetched here to get these 3 points, you got to try for it. Always opportunity. So throwing to that same side is the second, Lauren Massey. Gonna get over that hog line and push in towards their 2 stones. Far side. Just welded right on top. Depending on how this is hit, you could have one of those blue stones roll into the house. With a lot of weight, you come on half of it, they're going to split. But if you hit it too thick, that top blue is going to be bouncing into the rings. Exactly what just happened. So they caught a little break there, but there's a beautiful run back opportunity. And they're going to try that draw. In the position of Fanshawe, you got to hope for a mistake here. That's what you're looking for, some sort of mistake to happen where you can really capitalize on the opportunity. That is going to be key to getting these 3 points in the final end. Little heavy. That is a tough break for Lauren Massey and the Fanshawe team at the Women's OCAA Curling Provincial Championships in Peterborough, Ontario, as we round out the 8th and what will be the final end, I believe, for the Fanshawe College and the Sault Ste. Marie College. But anything is possible here. Looks like they're just going to catch a hair. So that blue shooter sticks around. That's when you needed that one in the house because you would have 2 sitting right now. Looking to split the house. Open up an opportunity for 2. After this shot, we are on to the Vice Stones. Looks a little heavy. They don't want this going through. Has to stick around in the back. It will not. Swept on through. Oh, another tough break. Realize those error rooms, right? You can be a little light. When throwing a draw, I give it to the sweepers. You want them to carry it in. If I'm throwing button, I'm actually aiming for about top 12, and I want them to sweep that to the button. I don't want to put it right on the button because if it's tight, sweeper's got to sweep. Well, now it's back of the house or through. So you do want to give it to the sweepers. My rule of thumb, but every player has their own strength. Looks like they're going to catch a piece of it, but it sticks. Oh my gosh. Sticks around, so another break is caught here for Fanshawe. It is not over yet. Vice Stones, Erin White throwing her first. They need this in the paint to give them some life. They want a little confidence here.
Do you feel like your voice moving on the thing? You just can't play around with it? Yeah. Go a little louder, a little softer.
It looks good. Going to try to bring this right across. They nade it in. It's going to be that 12-foot area. Biting 8. Beautiful shot by White. Looks fairly even across the top. That is a nice throw to give them a little bit of light here. You had that last rock, you'd be looking at putting 3. They could have 4 in the house right now. Skip Stones. McLeod throwing her first. She's got it. That's all they needed. Fanshawe going to open this up again. They need to get it in the house and then hope for a miss. They're going to be calling a timeout. Might as well use up their final timeout in the 8th end. Coach is taking to the ice. It's Fanshawe's final timeout. Put to well use. They need 3. Sue only needs to take 1 shooter out, and the game is finished. So 1 stone in the house, 2 left to be thrown for Fanshawe College. 1 skip rock left for Sue. That's going to be in the hands of Michelle McLeod. Her goal is to take out 1 blue stone. What a game here at the OCAA Provincial Curling Championships. Fanshawe Falcons against Sault Cougars. Who would have thought it would be ending this way, with ends 5, 6, and 7 going to Sault Cougars. 2 points apiece to take the lead, 8-5. So I'd be looking at almost trying to do a corner freeze here. But you need to be in the 12-foot, just biting 12-foot. Corner freeze on that yellow. If that takeout is, curls too much, they're going to be keeping 2 blue around. So you really want to bring it to that far side. That's your best coverage. Stack up those rocks. I'd like a corner freeze here. If you can get in the paint, just have it just in front of that yellow. I think you got a shot at getting 3 and forcing an extra. She was outside when she released, so has a lot of room to curl. It's going to be closer to center. They're waiting for it to come across. The weight's there. Now they got a little bit of room for a potential double. They only need 1. Michelle McLeod, final stone. 8th end for Sault Ste. Marie, and this could be the final stone thrown. As long as she connects and removes 1 blue. Could be a beautiful comeback win for the Cougars. She wants to come from the inside. Yeah, Broom's probably going to stay on the ice. Just clean it. You don't want any pick happening right now. You've come too far for that. Final stone released. McLeod, sweepers, on it, cleaning, starting to curl. Looks successful to me. 1, 2, cleared out double to finish off the game. So Sault Ste. Marie takes this one for the women at the OCAA Curling Provincial Championships here in Peterborough, Ontario at the Peterborough Curling Club. My name's Andy Hine. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Thursday evening. The Sioux team picks up what a beautiful comeback win. Fanshawe will finish off just behind on that one, regrouping for the night, and they will take up curling again tomorrow morning. All the best to everyone tuning in at home. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you soon.